Hey guys, so this is my 5-step routine that keeps my hair growing and thriving. Hair oiling has been the core of my hair routine for years. It's one of those things that really just works when you understand why. Oils honestly just nourish the scalp. They seal in hydration and they keep your strands from breaking before they can even grow. And I use my different oils interchangeably depending on what my hair needs during that time. Like my growth oil, for example, I use that for daily use. My Jamaican black castor oil and my innate life intensive treatment I use for more intense treatments, like when I'm trying to have like a bit of a protective shield on my hair. My intensive scalp oils, I usually use those on certain wash days. For example, my Gaia Dreams Nectar, I use that when I really want to go in on my scalp. And sometimes I use rosemary oil just to switch things up. But my main oil is the one that I use most consistently, and that is my growth oil. It's pretty much light enough for an everyday use, but still potent enough to stimulate growth and strengthen your hair from root to end. So today, since wash day is in a few days, I'm going to be focusing more on my regular 5-step oiling routine using my growth oil. My first step is definitely to do a light detangle on my hair. I like to start by detangling my hair. The goal is to just make sure that every section is getting the nourishment that it needs. The scalp is your skin too, so it needs circulation and hydration just like the rest of your body. And when I prep my scalp, I'm pretty much creating a clean foundation so that the oils can actually absorb into my scalp instead of just sitting on top. And I'm using my wooden brush to detangle and prepare my hair for the oiling process. And if you guys are wondering what's the big deal about a wooden brush, girl, I just learned and I'm starting to use this wooden brush all the time. I like that the wooden bristles help to move my scalp's natural oils. Also, it gives a gentle scalp stimulation. Unlike those plastic bristles that scratch and tug at your hair, the wooden brush is more of a gentle stimulation to the scalp, which of course is going to improve that blood circulation, which is of course going to improve that blood stimulation and circulation and help with hair growth. The wooden brush, they help to reduce frizz, which is very, 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 very good because I do, struggle with that from time to time, especially when my hair is curly. So if you want those smoother, less frizzy styles, then you definitely can benefit from this brush, especially in the colder months. And as always, it's natural and eco-friendly, which is always a plus. I love that. As I mentioned, I'm going to be using my growth oil. This is the main go-to oil for my daily and weekly use, girl. I use this twice a day when I'm being consistent, and when I'm being inconsistent, it's more like whenever I see the bottle and say, oops, it's time for me to oil my scalp. But the key is definitely going to be consistency. If you want to stay on a pretty good routine, regular oilings is going to help you to balance sebum, reduce breakage, and keep the scalp moisturized so that the hair can grow freely. Think of it as freeing your roots. And also, I like to apply the oil in small lines, focusing right on the scalp. A little goes a long way. As you can see, I'm not drenching my scalp with oil. I learned from trial and error with oils. You want to do less. So less is key. You want to distribute everything even so that you're not oversaturating. Massaging the scalp helps to stimulate blood flow. It is also a great encouragement to new growth. I do this for a few minutes daily or whenever I apply my oil. So as I mentioned, I like to switch up my oils as they are needed throughout my routine. I use oils interchangeably because your hair, like your skin, has different needs at different times. So some days it's in need of a lot of moisture. Sometimes it's in need of strengthening. Sometimes it's in need of stimulation. So my growth oil is pretty consistent. The rosemary oil, I like to use that whenever I want to do more of a herbal refresh. Now, the Nourish by Shawntas growth oil does have rosemary in it. So this is also kind of like an all-in-one oil that has many different oils in it. It's not an overkill of oils that's in here or overkill of herbs because we ain't trying to do that either. Okay, so as you can see, I'm lightly coating the length of my hair. Even though my main focus is the scalp, I like to smooth a little through my length. It seals in any type of moisture, adds shine, and also protects against friction. So I like to go, on the length of my hair too. It really does help your hair to look shiny and beautiful and healthy. All right, so that was a pretty quick routine, right? But once your hair is oiled and massaged, I typically wrap it up, but you can also put it in like a low bun or a style to let the oils absorb, or you can go ahead with your wash day That's pretty much it for this routine. There's no buildup or no heavy residue, just pretty much nourishment for this routine. And for the oils, you should be using light scalp oils. That is one thing that people get confused when they're doing oiling routines. They're like, oh, you're not supposed to do that, blah, blah, blah. It's all about using lighter scalp oils and not drenching your hair with oil. That is not what we're doing here. Do not do that. I'm not telling you guys to drench your scalp with oils. I'm telling you to be light-handed, and trust me, you will see the benefits. And this should be easily absorbing into your scalp. You should not be having super oily hair. And also, girl, you should not be using those oils that sit on top of your hair. Like, no. Or those oils that have way too much going on. Like, no. We are not doing an overkill. That is what makes it not work. So do the exact opposite of what I just said. And also listen to what your hair actually needs, because we all have different hair at the end of the day. So that was my 5-step oiling routine. I've been doing this for years, and I swear it's the reason why my hair thrives. It's less about being perfect and more about staying consistent and listening to your hair needs. And as I mentioned, I like to switch up my oils for different treatments because that is just my thing. That's just what I've been doing. If you guys have been following my YouTube channel for a while, you know that I like to switch it up when it comes to that. So I've been doing that since the beginning of the time. So I ain't gonna stop. Now let's talk routine. When it comes to oiling, I like to keep my routines very simple. What works for me is I usually do 2 times a day when I'm trying to grow my hair out. So when I'm actually trying to reach like a goal length, I'll do once in the morning and once before bed. Once I start seeing that my hair is actually retaining growth, I'll start to go down and start to spread out the days that I'm using it. So I will go from using it on a daily basis to using it 3 times a week. And then I'll go down a little bit more once I start seeing the buildup of that hair growth. I'll go down a little bit more and start using it once a week. So that is just what has worked for me. That's what I like to do. But everyone has their different routines and how they like to do it. Some people's hair can only take once a week of oiling. If your hair is that way, then you want to stick to that routine. If you want to do oiling as needed, you can do that as well. It is all about what you want. Also, let me know if you want to see a more intense routine when it comes to my like intense oiling routines where I do wash day afterwards. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for clicking on the video. And if you are new here, make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you like to see, you know, content like this, but also self-care content. You should subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.